Hey everyone. So I'm in my office today. Um, I just needed to come in and make some herbs for a friend of mine. Um, and I had to do an essential trip to get some meat. We've stayed out of the shops for the last 3, almost 4 weeks. So there comes a point when you just have to get a few things. I've been on the fence with making these videos. I was talking about flow yesterday, and I haven't been having flow with getting these videos onto Instagram for some reason. Getting the message into a video seems to be easy, but I seem to be having nothing but trouble with all the rest of it. So let's see how today goes, because I'm a big believer in following flow, and the universe is trying to get us to pay attention to a lot of things at the moment. So these need to be honored. But after I questioned whether this is what I should be doing, a couple of people were saying how helpful they find my videos. So I'll try and do that. So today I'm going to really quickly touch on making our food go the distance. There's been some pictures circulating on social media about increased waste that is going in the bins. And this is not what's a good thing or that we should be contributing to. So it's really important when you write your list for what you need that you do it in a place of quiet and calm and ask yourself, do I really need this? Is it essential? Am I going to use it? Is it a perishable or a non-perishable item? So, is it a smart buy right now? We want to be out of the shops as much as possible and making use of what we do buy. And what we do buy should be going the distance for 2 or 3 weeks, and there should be no increased waste. So write your list, step away from it, and then come back to it and ask yourself the same questions. Do I really need this, or is this a panic buy? It's really important that you do that when you're thinking about what you need. Um, Things may need to be a little different, like cans of tomatoes or tomato paste or stock cubes or meats that we can put in the freezer, beans, lentils, but try and buy the dry ones so that you get more out of them than what you would get in just a can. With vegetables, they need to be ones that won't go off quickly. The same with fruit. You don't want to be buying stuff that's going to go off quickly, because that is where we will be adding to increased waste. With our breads, you want to be able to put them in the freezer. Pita breads are handy too. Things like rice cakes, I've realized, are a bit of a stupid buy because they don't really contain much calories and we go through them very quickly. Oat cakes may be better. Pita breads, making your homemade bread, so maybe buying some baking flours. And at all times asking yourself, is this what I need? Will I use it? Do I know how to cook with this? Um, with recipes, if you're starting to get on Google to learn new things to create, they need to be simple, a couple of ingredients, stuff that will last a couple of days, stuff that you can put in the freezer. Soups, casseroles, curries, tagines, things like that are going to be good ones to do. So then, look, you've done your list. Plan your shop. Where are you going to go? What time? Is it a low footfall place? Can you just be smart about not being a risk to yourself or to other people when it comes to spreading this virus around? And then in the stores, again, constantly checking in with yourself, taking a deep breath, staying calm, trusting your immune system, making smart decisions, not panic buying. Um, it's interesting. So, like I said, I had to go to the butcher today, or if I didn't say it, I needed to go to the butcher today to just stock up on some things for myself and for my parents. And I'm thinking to myself, we're doing a mix of meat with canned fish, with beans and lentils, with eggs. So anything I buy is certainly lasting several weeks. And I do feel that we should be buying enough to keep us out of the stores again for at least 2 weeks if we can, while also not hoarding, taking more than we should, or impacting other people's ability to buy. So I'm in there with all of these intentions. I bought a few bits, but there's definitely an energy of policing and judgment going on out there. I felt, when I was saying, well, some of this is for my parents, that I might not even have been believed. Now, you have to understand, I wasn't buying a lot of stuff. And I do include a few things like tongue or beef cheek, because I'm not afraid of eating organ meats, and I feel that very few people are buying these things. So it's okay to make a choice that will then leave the steak and the chicken fillet and the normal cuts of meat for other people. But I could still palpably feel this energy. So only you can know what is a fair and reasonable amount. What is a fair and reasonable amount to keep you out of the stores for a significant amount of time, which is the best way of us socially isolating. So it's trying to balance buying enough and not buying more, being responsible so that you don't need to go out and do any more shops, but also not taking more than is appropriate. I know we're going to be in this for quite a long time. So we just have to do our best. We're not going to get one trip in for the next 6 months. That's just not the way it works. But maybe you can do one trip that will last 2 to 3 weeks. Things may need to change a bit. You may need to consider, how am I going to keep up my intake? If you were a person who ate a lot of salads before, for example, can you buy a greens powder or a fruit and berry powder online from a supplier of health goods, so that you can then rely on maybe potatoes and root veggies and carrots and cabbage, and still meet your health needs. So very much at the moment, and we're only at the start of this, we need to be sensible, we need to be considerate of others, and we need to make good decisions from a place of calm. So, a few things to think about there. Plan your food so that maybe there's some meals of abundance and meals of a little bit more meagerness. Even for those of us that have no shortage right now, I think it's just the fair and right thing to do, and be smart. So, mind yourselves, folks. I will have another video tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye.